welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about minimalism. I wanted to share with you another what I've been thinking about, like just going through my whole minimalist process and journey. You guys know, if you've been on this channel for a while, that I am on a minimalist journey. I'm about a year into my minimalist journey, and I just wanted to chat to you for a few seconds before I show you the video that I'm about to share with you, just a few thoughts behind not only this video but behind a lot of the things that you see me do on this channel. When I started minimalism, I fell into minimalism through the life-changing magic of tidying up. At that point in my life, I felt cluttered and I felt really held down by my stuff, heavy. I had a heavy feeling because I had so much stuff. If you guys have watched my declutter videos, you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. So my minimalist journey was born out of me thinking, okay, I really need to up my game with tidying things and replacing things in their place. So I was on YouTube around that time when I was feeling this really anxious and just felt heavy and unable to create, and just basically held down and heavy with stuff. Everywhere I look, there would be stuff, no matter how much times I clean my home. And you guys know me, I'm quite a clean person. No matter how many times I would clean, I would always end up in this place where I'm oh my God, I need to clean again in a week. So while I was in that feeling and thinking I need to do something about cleaning, I was watching Mimi Ikon's Favorites. If you don't know her, she's a YouTuber. She's great, one of the few YouTubers that I absolutely adore. She was talking about she talked about the life-changing magic of tidying up, which is a book that she had read, and she was recommending for anybody who wanted to learn a bit. The way she the way she described it, I was that seems like something I need to look at because I'm struggling with that. So I went to Waterstone and I got my book, the life-changing magic of tidying up. I sat down and I read the book. I went back again. It was so good a book. I went back again to get the second, which is Spark Joy. I got that as well and I read it. These books kick-started. Again, I didn't start my minimalist journey as to start minimalism. At this point, when I read the life-changing magic of tidying up, I didn't even understand what minimalism is. And if you know the whole Marie Kondo method and the life-changing magic of tidying up, you know in itself it's not really a minimalism book. But when I looked at when I read that book and taking up on her thoughts of keeping only what we love, what we use, and what sparks joy, for me that translated into very few things. And then I started to just check out and declutter her way, and I discovered that I was getting rid of more and more things that I didn't really want. When I googled decluttering and cleaning up and tidying up, I also then found minimalism and understood then that this was what I wanted to do. So that short summary and that's a long story cut short, because I'll probably tell you guys about my minimalist journey in details, what started it and what happened around that time that really threw me onto the path that I'm on right now. So since then and throughout my minimalist journey, there's a lot of talk. I hardly ever hear people trying to say what look at the things that you have before you declutter those things, and try to think if it can be used in another way in your home that you would love. This is a message that you never really hear. a lot of times it's about decluttering, and rightly so. I think my creativity and my ability to assess whether I can use the thing or I need to let it go came from a place where I needed to declutter first. Like I needed to clear my mind to be able to think clearly. So yeah, I'm in support of decluttering. I'm a huge fan of it, in fact. But I think you never ever get to the end of decluttering, because if you're like me and you like shopping and you think like you like different things and you like changing your house up and stuff, you will discover that like it's harder to not ever declutter again. So for me, I realized that like earlier on in my journey, I realized that like I was buying things and throwing things away and buying things and throwing things away. And I felt like as I went on with my journey, like a few months back, I started to think like, what else can I do with this thing that I will then love and use? So now my decluttering process, the first process of decluttering is to assess what I need and what I don't need. The second part of decluttering is that I look at things that I'm decluttering and then I make an assessment of whether they can be used for another purpose and bring me joy, or if I need to give them away, pass them to my sister, pass them to my mom, and so on and so forth. So I don't just rush to declutter things. In a different video, and I hope to make that soon, I will discuss with you in more details like why I think that like the mistakes, not even why I think, but like the mistakes that I made on my decluttering journey, and hopefully I can help you guys avoid those mistakes. But today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite things in the house right now is this chair and this pillow, these chairs, 2 chairs and this pillow that I made from something I really loved but could not use anymore. It is this dashiki top, and it was so bright I couldn't wear it because it doesn't go with my aesthetic, like my clothes aesthetic. So it didn't really fit with anything, and I couldn't wear it many places because I like quite like grays and whites, quite like dull colors. But I was decorating my house for summer, my summer house tour. I did that for you guys, and after I filmed that for you guys, I was still thinking and wondering what to do with the bag that I have of stuff that I need to declutter. And this dashiki, Dad gave it to me, and I absolutely love it. Like I love it, but I couldn't wear it because it does not fit my aesthetic, like I already said. So I thought about what to do with it. I had these 2 chairs that I salvaged. Somebody threw them out, and I was like, oh, you don't need them anymore? They were like, yeah, I just don't need them anymore. So I took them, and one of our neighbors threw them out. So I took them 2 years ago, and I kept them because I really loved these chairs. And even though I wasn't using them, I just knew that I really loved them and wanted to keep them. And I didn't. So when I was doing my declutter, I didn't want to let go of the sits. When I got the dashiki and I couldn't do anything with it, it just, like one morning, it just dawned on me that like I think I was just thinking of like easier and simpler ways of like decorating a house for summer and not spending too much money in doing it. I thought that dashiki is so perfect for like decorating your house in summer. So I thought of a way that I could incorporate it, like turn it into something I sew, I knit, I DIY, I do a lot of things. So I thought, you know what, I could use that dashiki and create a few things. So today I wanted to share with you, and I also wanted to encourage you guys that don't just get too carried away with decluttering and throwing things out and then spending more money to go out and get things that you could have probably repurposed something you already have and decorated for summer, or decorated for winter, or whatever season you're decorating for. Or you could have taken the dress you don't like, turned it into a skirt, and then being able to use it. I just want you guys to think beyond just throwing things away. Also, I think it's a good way to think. Now, I'm not huge, like I'm not crazy about like let's save the world, and you guys know that, but I try. My whole purpose of being on a minimalist journey is that I try to live my life a little bit more conscious of everybody around me, conscious of the people making my clothes, conscious of the planet. So I think that like if you could reuse and repurpose things, it would be a way of you helping with the planet and like looking after our planet, because half of the things that we throw away usually end up in a landfill, and that is not good for our world. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and take inspiration from it, because literally I think it's just like a very classic way of like, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite creations. You know guys, I do DIY videos, but I think this is a DIY with a view, so hopefully you enjoy it. So guys, these are the 2 chairs that I salvaged and that I want to work on with my DIY. So we'll come closer. If you can see, that's really dirty, and that this cloth was exactly the same as that. Like they're they're dirty and they're filthy. So this is a chair with a pillow inside it. Again, seeing how dirty they are, I wanted to get rid of both, to take out the cover and the pillow inside and just basically be left with this, which is a wood. This is just like so. So it's just this wooden part that has these plugs in the back, and I suppose you can make these. You make this because you can make these yourself if you had like the equipment and stuff. Luckily, these chairs already came with these pegs at the back, which will make my DIY a bit easier. So today I'm going to be covering these 2 chairs with an African fabric. Enter the African fabric. So this is a dashiki type top that I think for me, I wore it in my vlog video. I'll enter it here and I'll put it in the description as well. I wore it when I went away in my vlog video, and that day I realized that it's a bit too loud. So as you can see, these are the arms and it's like a dashiki and stuff. So I realized that it was just that tad bit a bit too loud and really doesn't go with the outfits that I wear every single day, and I haven't been able to wear it. But since it's an African fabric and my dad gifted this to me, I wanted to make something out of it. I wanted to like use it as decor, and so that's what I'm going to be using, to be cutting off and then using for to do this DIY. So let's get started and I'll show you guys what I have planned for these 2 beautiful chairs. Again, I got the chairs free. I salvaged them like I said, and I want to work with only the materials that I already have. I didn't want to go out and purchase stuff. I could use a stapling gun, which is what you usually would use for this DIY, but I don't have a stapling gun and I didn't want to invest in one just for the one DIY, because I don't do a lot of DIYs, and when I do DIYs, they're usually like just always from the materials that I have around my house, and that's the way I would encourage you guys to do DIYs, just from the materials you have around. So I thought they would have a bit of my dad in the house, and I would have an African fabric. I'm Malawian, and I would have a bit of African fabric on my chairs. It's the perfect combination, and I still, instead of like giving that dashiki away, and not using it, I can repurpose it and use it some other way. So let's get started and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. So this is it. I just pulled it apart. And what I'll do is turn the pegs inside so they don't interfere in my thingy, and take that seat out. And then that's what we'll start working on, the fabric. This stuff I'm just gonna throw away because it's nasty. So I am going to be using the middle part of the chair, which is just this board, to measure how much fabric I need. Fabric, not fabric. Fabric I need. And then that will cover it. So how you will never in my DIYs see me use figures and measurements, because mathematics and me just never really mix. So I'll just wing it and we'll see whatever comes out of it. I'll use this board, and how I'm measuring it is to just fold over like so, because these pegs are going to hold the chair in place. So I'll just use the fabric to like go around as I cut. I'll just cut like one little bit out of the board, and that should be enough to cover the board. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I want to waste as little fabric as I possibly can. I don't want to, I can use the remainder of the fabric for some other DIY instead of just like wasting it. We'll just disconnect that. The natural way of doing this is to take a stapling gun, but since I only wanted to use the material that I have, I'll have to find a way to work around that. So I'm just gonna use my glue gun to hold it in place until I'm able to put it in. So guys, this is what the board will look like after it's been glued, hot glued down. It's quite steady, the hood is quite steady, and on the flip side of it, this is what it will look like. Again, very pretty, and the fabric is really like very tightly hung around the set, which is what you want. Now what I'll do with the scissors is just clean it up, like cut away the excess fabric like that, so that it doesn't be an eyesore once I've put the chair together. Okay, so this is the chair. What I'm going to do is flip it on its back so I can work at it from the back. So guys, this is the before and the after. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing to the second chair. Take it apart and then make a similar chair to the African fabric print chair. So this is the remaining part of the dashiki from the chair DIY that we just made. Now I want to make a pillow out of this. I just want to make like a long bed pillow, and it will have the African fabric, of course, because I literally don't want to waste all of that fabric for nothing. And then this is my sewing chest right here, and I just will use that and I will sew this up. And inside I think I might stuff it with clothes that I don't need anymore instead of just throwing them out. Anyway, that's one thing you could do. Instead of throwing the clothes out, you could stuff it in to this to any pillow that you want to make. I just wanted to show you guys what you could do with stuff and not just waste material. I will just sew it by hand basically, and the stitching I'm going to use is very easy stitching. When you sew, you flip everything inside out so you have a clean, nice clean thingy. So we'll flip this inside out now. I'll show you now. I'll just quickly show you how I will do it. So we label these parts, right? There, that's the labeling of them. And what I would do, this is the easiest stitch. You take your needle and you just go in out as much as, and you come back again. It's the quickest stitch. I still wanted to maintain this part of the dashiki. So what I will do is I will use thread to sew around this and use the hand. This is one of the hands that I cut off. So I'll put it in here to cover this part up, and that will be that part patched up. And then I'll enter all the clothes that I need to put in here to make the pillow and stuff. I'll enter it in here, and then I will close it up, and that will just be like a dashiki type of like look in front on this end, but have that end just like an accent pillow, so you could use both sides. Hi guys, so I've sewn a hidden stitch right up here to close the dashiki opening. So this is it, what it looks like now. You couldn't see that I've stitched it, but just to strengthen the stitch, I want to go back in again I want to go down here again, so that will have that closed entirely. That's what it looks like when it's gonna be closed. This is the arm ripped apart. So this, I will use part of this fabric to close this opening, right like so. Like sew it around there. Oops. Like so, you guys. So okay guys, so I've been like working at getting this done. I deliberately have left all this front pattern because I think it would be cute, and there's that pocket which y'all see when it's all closed, y'all won't even see that. So this is it done. I've done the same stitching all around to close it, and I've just left a hole here. Now what I'm going to do is use these clothes. These are clothes that I need to declutter, but instead of throwing them away, I just want to take them and put them in the pillow, and that's how I'll make the pillow. So I'm going to be folding this in like so, just so that I hide this stitching, because I filled the pillow now. We're gonna fluff it in a bit, and then I'll close the stitching. This closing stitching is going to be a little bit more clean stitching because we don't want to be able to see it. So that might take a little bit more time than the rest of the pillow has taken me. But let's start. So guys, this is what the pillow looks like finished, and I will show you also the other side of it, which is the dashiki side. But you can swap sides, or if you just want a plain pillow, you can just use the plain end. That's the dashiki side where the neck and everything was. So yep guys, that is the pillow itself. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the closing stitch. So this is where, if you can see, they're so tiny, the closing stitches, that it won't be visible at all if you look at it from anywhere that you look at it as. There you go. So that's that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys next time. I love you, tones. For some reason, I usually love this in spring because it's literally like everything that's springy. This is, I got rid of this in my declutter thingy. I got rid of this and then I had to go and get it back because I really missed it. In spring, I really missed